Khan. All praise to Yah through Mashiach Yahushua, for surely his mercy endure forever. My name is Officer Banakad, coming back to you with these precepts, going over our topic, for this life or death show, this class. So you're an Israelite. What are you going to do about it? All right? And this is going out to the brothers and sisters with the weird knowledge that are now coming into the truth or have learned the truth for a period of time but still have done nothing. All right? What are you going to do about it? All right? So I'm talking about those brothers that have weird knowledge of what Israel actually is or what their nationality actually is to weird knowledge of what they're supposed to do. Okay? Just the beginnings and then just the entry point into actually doing the work. All right? And the beginning of the knowledge and the construing of the knowledge, meaning those brothers that say, "Oh, I'm from the 12 tribes of Judah." Find that in the Bible. All right? I don't know where you found this 12 tribes of Judah doctrine, but that's not in the scriptures. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And to the brothers who's been far along and have learned more and now have to go into the doing part of the word, all right, who've stacked up on all this knowledge and now have to get into the doing part of the word, all right. But I'm here to go on, those things that are stopping you, because the Most High is a man of action. If you're proclaiming that you're his child, you are a man of action. All right, you are a daughter of action. You do things. All right, you're not called Israel for no reason. Gods just don't sit there and do nothing. All right, they orchestrate, they do things, they keep balance. All right, they restore balance, they restore things. All right, they smite, they bring up, they kill and they bring alive. I mean, you're learning things of the Most High God. But you can't just sit there and do nothing with all that knowledge. All right? Let's just start off with our code. We're going to start with Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to power and the Abba by him. This is a code. This is how you do things. Everything that you do, the Most High through a Mashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is to be in mind. All right? This is kingdom forward, a culture of kingdom. All right? So there's a lot of doing. This is your community. But this is more than a community. This is a nation. All right? We've been in a lot of communities. A lot of our people have been in a lot of communities and a lot of doctrines. This is a nation. This is an identity. This is real history. All right? But I got to ask you, for you that are now coming into the knowledge of what Israel is to what you should be doing, you got to ask yourself, first of all, do you love God for real? All right? Because to love God is keeping the commandments. The same thing that your pastor told you, oh, you can't keep. No, those same commandments. All the commandments. To strive for it, to do it, to do what he says, to be like him, to keep his ways, which is being like him. All right? Those things are exactly what the Most High wanted you to do. To do those things is to love the Most High. Let's get that. We're going to get 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. All right? So all the things that he told us to do, all the things that he commanded us to do, all right, even through Christ, those are his commandments. Those are commands that we're supposed to be doing. All right? Those are not optional. Okay? God told you to do this, you do it. Okay? So you got to ask yourself, what is it to you that you're Israel? All of you that are coming back into the knowledge of that you're Israel, and proclaiming, oh, that you're the tribe of Judah, tribe of Benjamin, tribe of Levi, you know, claiming that you're Northern Kingdom. What is it to you that you're Israel? I need you to think about that. Can you truly perceive the value of being called Israel? Can you feel what it means to be called Israel? All right? Do the scriptures come back of all the precepts and your royalty and the royal law, James chapter 2, verse 8, all these things, does it come back onto you? Looking down at your fringes, can you feel what it means to be called Israel? All right, because I have to get to the heart of our people, what it means to be called Israel. What does it feel like to you? What does it feel like to remember that your God is a man of war? All right? Because I want you to understand, Israel is not just a name, but the way that we treat Israel as Israelites, Israel is an action verb. Because guess what? When you were an Israelite, a bloodline Israelite, and you did not act like an Israelite, we called you a Gentile. We called you Romans. We called you Grecians. We called you Egyptians. We called you Moabites. We called you all these other things that you decided to go off into, even as a bloodline Israelite. All right? So what is it to you that you're called Israel? All right, because you're not of anyone else. God didn't call you anything else but Israel. So what is it to be called Israel? Let's go to what God says. All right, let's get Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. All right, that's the end of the discussion. Most High called you Israel. You're going to be Israel no matter what. You can't decide what you want to be. You can't be Israel, but I'm part French. Israel, but I'm part Chinese. You are Israel. All right? You can't really choose to be anything else because the Most High is going to treat you the same. All right? And you've seen it throughout all history. The Most High had made sure that what happened to you didn't happen to no one else. Let's go ahead and get Daniel. Because our people got to remember, even though we want to identify with everything else, the Most High ain't playing that. We got godly punishments. All right? So let's talk about it. Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. No one got it worse than you in history. Point blank, period. No one will get it. Nobody has gotten it worse than you yet. All right? You are the Lord's servant. It doesn't matter what you want to be, or it doesn't matter what you think you are. All right? Let's get that straight. You're Israel, the Lord's servant. All right? I just want to go back to Isaiah real quick, and I want to get 44, verse 1. Go to 1 to 2. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. All right? So don't be afraid to act like Israel. Don't be afraid to go full in to be Israel. It's all you'll ever be, anyways. All right? Guess what? Israel speaks. Israel dictates. Israel has power. Israel takes control. Israel keeps balance. All right? You are the heads of the earth. All right? And there's a price to knowing that you're Israel. Now that you come into the truth, there is a price to knowing that you're Israel. All right? Let me get Romans chapter 12, verse 1. So for you that are just coming into knowing what Israel is, you are the servant of the Most High God. Servant of Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahawashai. All right? The servant of God. All right? Your name means Prince of Power, sons of God. All right? And you have to serve to learn what it means to be a God. All right? And touching the service, Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Okay? Serving the Most High, being a servant is reasonable. All right? The Most High made you, Most High kept you up. It's reasonable to do for him. Okay? Because we don't want to backslide. All right. Know that you're the Most High's tools. You can't backslide into doing nothing. Doing nothing is where you came from. In fact, let's talk about where we came from real quick. Israel, tell me if you remember this. If you remember this being you. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 6. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. Our house, where we grew up, our schools, what our parents told us, deceit. They ain't never told us the truth. All right, some of our parents did tell us the truth, but the system did not tell you the truth. Where you grew up, the culture you grew up in, it did not tell you the truth. You lived the truth, it didn't tell you the truth. All right, this is where you came from. And a lot of you know that you refuse to know the Most High. It was a fight to get you to come to the Most High. A lot of you know that the Most High had to beat your behind for you to come to him correct. Had to use someone else to beat your behind for you to come to him correct. All right. You chose deceit. You chose being a witch. You chose Egyptology, Kemet. You chose Islam. All right. You chose these deceits. And you refused to know God. That's where you came from. You came from emptiness, things that did not profit you. You came from fearing lies to fearing God. But you have to act like it. Because a lot of our people are supposed to fear God, but they still fear lies. All right? They still fear things in their mind instead of what the word says. So we're going to get into what the word says. All right? Let's go into what it was coming up in the truth, learning certain things, coming from denying to know God. All right. Romans chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? This is you just coming in. What advantage? What do you get for saying that you're Israel, that you're a Jew, that you're from Judah, that you're from Benjamin, that you're from Levi? What do you get from that? But you learn this: much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. All right? You learn that. You get all the history, all the knowledge, all the oil, you get it all when you come back correct to the Most High God. When you call yourself Israel, when you call yourself one of the 12 tribes of Israel, Benjamin, Levi, Judah. When you call yourself these names and you start acting it out and you start keeping it at home, all right, keeping it amongst yourself, you learn these things. All right, and this is things that come through your mind that you actually say. This is what you feel. All right, and let's go a little bit further. Romans chapter 2, verse 17. Behold, thou art called a Jew, and retestest in the law, and makest thy boast of God, and knowest his will, and approvest the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law, and art confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness. That, verse 17, is where we want to get you. That's where you need to get. That's being Israel. All right? Guiding your people right back into the light. All right? But our people are boasting that they're Jews without having the full knowledge and the full Hebrew logic of being a Jew. All right? So, knowing the Hebrew logic, let's start with our name, Israel. What are we to God? We're his servant. We're his firstborn son. All right? Let's keep on going. Let's go back to Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. All right? So how do you do that? How do you do that? Let's go to Christ. Let's go to Luke chapter 14, verse 23. All right? Luke chapter 14, verse 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. It's the same thing that we talk about in Haggai. All right? Is it now time, your time to be dwelling in your sealed houses and my house lying waste? Okay? This is your reasonable service. Exactly what Christ did himself. Bringing the family in. All right? Because this isn't just some community. It's not a community movement. It's a nation. It's an actual nationality. It's a people. And you can't just choose to be this people. You are this people. All right? The Most High, you already came from the Most High. The Most High already called you Israel. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You're getting judged like an Israelite. All right? If you don't do certain things, you have failed to do certain things before the Most High. As an Israelite. Not as an American. He's not judging you like an American. He's judging you as an Israelite. Because you're an Israelite. All right? And him being a man of action. You got to understand there's actions that you have to take. You can't be soft in this. You can't be soft in the truth, man. You gotta pick your side fully. You cannot be lukewarm. You cannot be lukewarm. You have to pick your side. You have to come all the way in, because the Most High is trying to take you all the way home. All right, He's not trying to take you to to some island in the Bermuda Triangle because you want to be halfway an Israelite. Oh wait, you can just be right here. No, He's trying to take you all the way home. We going all the way home. You can't just be halfway Israel. You going all the way home. Go be all the way Israel. The time is almost coming for us to go back to the land. All right? You're a servant, so that means you got to go back out into the highways of the hedges of the men of Israel. All right? You got to remember what it is to go back into the highways of the hedges. Highways and the hedges. All right? Come on. Let me see. Let me get Sirach chapter 51 verse 23. These are things that are supposed to be coming out of your mouth. This is your sentiment. All right? Sirach chapter 51 verse 23. Draw near unto me, ye unlearned, and dwell in the house of learning. Where's the house of learning, Israel? The house of learning is the sanctuary. That's the house of learning. He gave you little sanctuaries all around America, all around the world, for you to learn. All right, that's the house of learning, and that's what you're supposed to be telling your brethren, as a servant of the Most High God, as His servant, to bring Jacob again to Him. All right. This is your reasonable service. This is your sentiment right here. Draw near unto me, ye unlearned. All right? You got to break down their doctrine, all right, of what they believe and the things that they stay on, the deceit that they stay on, for them to come and learn something more. All right? You got to make everybody believe. You have to make the people who you're supposed to talk to believe that their doctrine is a dead-end doctrine. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't breathe. All right? This is your reasonable service. Because this is what the Most High is doing for you. That's how the Most High brought you in the truth. He had to teach you. Now, if you were to love your brother, go teach your brother. Reasonable service. Reasonable things. All right? It's a light thing that you were to do this, man. All right? But we can't have some kind of fear about doing the Most High God's work, man. You're coming out of fear. The Most High didn't give you fear. He didn't give you the spirit of fear. All right? Let's get that. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. God did not give you fear. You can't just be in the middle. Oh, I know I'm Israel, but I'm just going to stay back and y'all teach. All right, I'll just do what I do at home, however I do it, and y'all teach. Y'all go handle that. Oh, I just don't feel like that's the way to do it, brother. Well, come say something. If you got a problem with how we teach, bring the script and come say something. Because the truth is, you see it in the script yourself. You just want to make yourself weak. You just want to play weak. and say that you don't want to do it. You want to take up weakness and say that you want to do it, that you don't want to do it. Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Come on, but even y'all know this from the Christian church. Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. All right? Most High ain't giving you no fear to do his work. You are holding you back. You're stronger than the devil's holding you back. So really, you're holding you back. All right, you got some kind of stipulation, something in your mind saying, I got, but I want to put down the weed. Let me give it 2 years. God, I'm gonna give it 2 years. We gotta give it 2 years. No. You have a stipulation in your mind about doing the work correctly. That's not a God. All right? And you're going to build up fear. You're going to let Satan build up fear and give you excuses. And you're going to agree on those excuses. Most High did not give you a spirit of fear. All right? But of power and of love. All right? And let's get that. Let's get James chapter 2, verse 8 real quick. Because who are you loving? What does it mean to exercise love? All right? James chapter 2, verse 8. If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. All right? That's a royal law. That's put to you. Law of royalty. The commandments is put to you. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. You love yourself by keeping the commandments. All right? That's self-love. All right? Now to love your brother like you love yourself, what do you got to do? You got to teach him the commandments. Teach him and show him how you've understood how keeping the commandments heal things in your life. Heals your body. You stop eating pork and now and you feel great in the morning. All right? You stop eating shellfish and your breath stop stinking. All right? Your gums stop bleeding. You start smoking weed, you don't have emphysema. All right? You start keeping the Sabbath day, you have a better state of mental health. All right? Love your brother as you love yourself. This is royal. This is royal law just to do that. All right? So you can't be scared of doing this. This is royal. This is royal stuff. You call yourself a king and a queen, a god? This is royal law. This is royal law. You going out to the highways and the hedges and loving your brother as you love yourself, that's royal law. When Christ told you, when that came out of Christ's mouth. All right? I'm telling you, you can't be lukewarm with this one, man. Do we have to remind you who you are? Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All right? You have no peace under everybody else. There's always a cry of something. All right? Always a cry of injustice. You're not supposed to be under everybody else. You're supposed to be over everybody else. That's why you don't have peace under everybody. Peace. All right? Regaining balance in our lives, or what is the true balance of life? What is life supposed to be? All right? And we don't keep peace when we stay on lies, man. It does nothing for you. You can't choose weed. You can't choose Christmas. You can't choose all these other things and think you're going to serve the Most High in the same breath. No, man. You can't just be at home and have no action to you, man. How you going to build up your riches? Psalm chapter 4, verse 2. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? All right? How long are you going to stay back, man? How long are you going to live like whatever you were before an Israelite? Outside of the script, outside of when you come to service, or outside of when you finally come to Sabbath service, or outside of when you come together with your brothers. All right, who are you when the book is closed? You gotta pick a side, man, because you're turning the Lord's glory into shame. The moment that you say that you're an Israelite, now you gotta live like it. Now you gotta prove it. All right, you're an ambassador. Now you gotta prove these things. All right, you're held to the highest standard on earth. The standard is so high, no one else could touch that standard. You are the only ones to touch that standard, and the world awaits to see it. All these creatures await to see you shine. All right, but you can't be halfway in it, man. And for y'all that don't understand that there's a fight to this thing, there is a whole fight to this thing. And I can get into Sirach chapter 2, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. But let me get Sirach chapter 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. All right. 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. You're going to have that fight. It's either you willingly step into the smoke, or the smoke is going to find you. It's already there. All right? And for the most of our lives, we've been letting the smoke find us. That's why we're screaming no justice, no peace. That's why we're screaming Black Lives Matter, is because we've been letting the smoke find us. All right? And we have done nothing about it. You got to understand, you got to take a stand, and you have to actively make a wall against the things that are not for you. All right? If you sit on the knowledge of being Israel and say nothing to anybody, you're no greater than the Arabs that knew the whole time. When our brothers were coming into Islam, they knew that they're Israel. They knew that they are better than them, and said nothing. And the few times that they did say something, they taught them nothing. Had all that knowledge, taught them nothing. Just gave them the religion and put them right below. And whenever our brothers say, "Hey, brother," or whatever they tried to say and call them brother, they would say, I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother. That's what they say. Y'all got to choose a side, man. Y'all have to choose to be Israel. All right? It's either you step into the smoke, because we know as so-called black people, smoke is always there. It's either you step into the smoke correct, or you let the smoke find you with your pants down. All right? So check out this video real quick of this brother. All right? This is exactly what we deal with, exactly what we try to say when we go out into the streets, man.
I'm discovering at my big age of 38 that a whole lot of people have a very difficult time taking a stand because they want to protect their false sense of peace. Because they feel like if they pick a side, if they speak out, then something is going to fall apart that they want to keep together when really it's not healthy anyway. And they're not at peace. You're doing work to maintain a false sense of peace, which is actually disturbing your peace because you don't want to deal with the conflict that comes along with actually pursuing true peace. There's a difference between peace and quiet. You think you're at peace because things are quiet.
That's what we've been trying to say. You think you're at peace because things are quiet now, man. You don't know true peace, man. Let me get peace in the scriptures. It's the exact same thing that we've been saying to you, man. God. My precept. Hold on, Israel. Give me 1 second. It's my train of thought. But that's exactly what we're talking about. All right? The peace that we're supposed to be having as Israelites. I gotta get this precept. God. Let me get First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 42. All right? Because this is really our work. This is what we're supposed to have our head set on when we're talking about going out and coming to our people and bringing them back in love. All right? Restoring what we are. All right? First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 42. Now when Judas and his brethren saw that miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders, for they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them. They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. All right. 44. Then was the congregation gathered together, that they might be ready for the battle, and that they might pray and ask mercy and compassion. All right? This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is our life. All right? This is us coming to get it correct. This is us coming to rebuild. All right? Because if we don't do this, then we're not going anywhere. No one in Israel is going anywhere if we don't start to bring each other back. That's brotherly love. All right? We can't just stay on, I know that I'm Israel. I know if I'm the tribe of Judah. All right, I'm gonna put down a spliff in 2 years, and I'm gonna work at my pace. All right, you haven't even started coming to your brothers to come into the sanctuary. All right, you don't know what your pace is yet. You didn't build a pace yet because you didn't even start. You're not starting to come back correctly according to all the precepts, right? And even if you wanted to know all the precepts, you still got to come to the sanctuary and learn. You just came. You don't just set your pace like that. You got to come and really set a pace, set a plan for yourself. All right, because you got a lot of brothers and sisters who started just like you. And they could tell you, hey, if I started like this, as my captain told me, or if I started like this, as my elder told me, I might have been more well off in my finances, in my marriages, in my marriage, in my life, at the job, getting cohesion in being an Israelite and work and what I'm supposed to do for the Most High day to day. How do I come to in prayer? You know what I mean? But you got to work these things out, man. You got to think about this. You got to work out your salvation in fear and trembling. You get Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right? This is an individual thing. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. What are you going to do for the Most High? So that he remembers you. So that he remembers that you did right according to him. That you did what he said. That you didn't just sit on the knowledge. You actually gave the knowledge as he gave the knowledge. As Christ gave the knowledge. You walked the walk just like Christ walked the walk. Exactly what he said. All right? Because the Most High is going to keep you in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on him. All right? When your mind is stayed on the Most High, He won't keep you in perfect peace. All right? But you got to also do the works. You got to establish the peace. You got to make the balance. You got to restore the balance. You got to walk the walk. All right? So you're an Israelite. What are you going to do about it? All right? So Israel, what do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think we have to do as Israel? All right? Can we just sit on the knowledge? It's just us. It's an individual thing. I'm an individualite. The Most High made us as individualites. All right? Or do we have to go to the family, teach the family, bring the family back? Because the Most High has a family. He wants the entirety of the family. He wants his family back. All right? Let me not say entirety, only a remnant. All right? He wants who he wants back. All right? But while you think of that, Shalom Israel. Again, all praise to Yah through Mashiach Yahushua, for surely his mercy endure forever. All right? We want you to come back to commandments and do the work. All right? Do the complete work. All right? Do what you can for the Most High. Show up to a feast day. Make some food. Show up to a feast day. Hang out with the brothers. Eat and be merry. You know what I mean? Come to your local sanctuary. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to just be LOZ. But we are here, 2937 West Broad Boulevard. But go amongst any other camps. If your spirit bear witness to any other camp, go amongst them. Help them out. Do what you can. Don't just sit on the knowledge, walk the walk. Help further the truth. All right? Because without the truth, we have nothing to stand on. All right? So, Shalom, Israel.